Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream on the channel. It's another day with lots more Leicester City news. Obviously, this morning, Michael Golding was officially announced. We all saw that one coming. But yesterday, Bobby Decordova-Reid was, of course, announced as a Leicester City player. Now, we did not see that one coming at all by a long stretch. There's lots more transfers on the way, but obviously tonight we're going to be discussing a lot around Bobby Decordova-Reid, touching upon Michael Golding. Obviously, I've done a video on him before. There's been some rumours around Callum, Matt O'Reilly as well from Celtic. So there's been lots of stuff. Obviously, the new kit has been released as well. So obviously, and of course, with okoli looks to be set to be announced probably tomorrow as well, potentially even tonight. So yeah, Leicester are moving incredibly quickly. So yeah, as always, get involved in the chat, drop a like on the stream, and we'll get straight into it then. Cordova-Reid. Now, obviously, he's joined Leicester on a free. He left Fulham in the summer as a free agent. Leicester have got him on a deal for 3 years, I do believe. In my opinion, it is a very good signing. So far this window, we've seen Leicester obviously mixed up a bit. We've got we've got the experience now of Bobby Decordova-Reid, and of course the young raw talent of Michael Golding, who of course joined the club today as well. So far, I'm liking the business. We're getting players in different positions. Obviously, there's still a few bits to do around the likes of Abdul Fatawu. I don't know why that is taking so long with the new kit being released. We'll talk a bit about that later as well. But yeah, there's so much going on with Leicester right now, and it's good to see because usually a few weeks ago there's absolutely nothing, and now we've got 2 players officially done. We've got okoli, who should be announced very soon. His medical's done. We've got Fatu, obviously should be announced. And then Wilfred Ndidi, who is still kind of in the air about Wilfred Ndidi, but he is back. I believe the players are back in training tomorrow. I know I've said a few times that they should be back, but usually you do see some sort of social media around it. So, you know, I assume we're waiting for that one, but we'll have to see. But it should be tomorrow because I know a lot of teams are back. But anyway, Scott, welcome to the stream. Any news about Callum O'Hare? We'll get into that later. As far as I know, there's definite interest in Callum O'Hare from Leicester. That interest has been long-standing as well. So obviously O'Hare is a free agent from Coventry, so it would be interesting if Leicester do go into that one. But like I said a few times, you know, obviously we don't know, but Leicester assume we don't have the biggest of budgets this transfer window. So it's important for me we, you know, look at these players on as free agents, as we've done with Bobby Decordova-Reid, potentially the loan market as well. So O'Hare could definitely be a player, and as we all know, Leicester are in desperate need of some backup first team quality in the midfielder areas. Obviously, we've lost Kieran Dewsbury, there's no Dennis Pratt, etc. So it's going to be important to strengthen in that position. Evening, Gray. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, I did hear that. I'm not too sure on how reliable it is, but yeah, I did see that on Twitter. Tom, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Fossil Pass said it. I'm not too sure on you know, it's another ITK, but you never know. Steve Cooper isn't messing about. Indeed, it's good, and it's the perfect thing really because, you know, especially this year, it's important Leicester start the season quickly. So it's important we get the players in now, and hopefully we can have our business wrapped up as soon as possible, really, because, you know, it's always good to strengthen players, you know, throughout the whole window. But if you get the bulk of your business done early, it just sets you up for the perfect season because, you know, the first 2 games, like I said, are incredibly important. And if we're messing around with players leaving, bringing people in, you know, the first few games are, I wouldn't say a write-off, but you just want to have that settled squad from the evening. All right, Ant, hope you're doing all right, mate. Would it be nice for O'Hare to play in front of the fans that don't have 6? Because exactly that, and it would wind up them lot down the M69 as well, which should be a benefit, wouldn't it? But yeah, I think with O'Hare, there's still a lot of decided to do on that one, but obviously I put them in the thumbnail, partly to try and get a reaction from the COV fans. But yeah, obviously I think there's definite interest there. But anyway, let's have a close look then on Bobby Decordova-Reid, because obviously he has joined the club and I'm yet to discuss him on the channel. So yeah, that's going to lose. So yeah, 31 years old, Jamaican international, very versatile. He can play across the whole front three, which for me is massive. Obviously, it's a free transfer on a 3-year deal as well, which in my opinion is fantastic. And you just look at this image here. Obviously, it's only on transfer market, but look at all that. The depth of positions. He's even got him at flipping right back. So yeah, this guy can literally play anywhere across the front three, predominantly a right wing. I spoke to Ant obviously on his channel the other day, and I said, you know, it's important that Leicester can get some backup out wide because obviously at the minute as it stands right now, I've only got Mavididi and McAteer really, because obviously Fatu hasn't officially been announced, but we all know it will do. So I think Leicester could probably do with one more winger as well, potentially dipping into the loan market, or maybe using someone like Wanya Marcel if he doesn't go out on loan. So yeah, I think getting someone like Decordova-Reid, experience. I know everyone talks about it. You want to get experience, blah blah blah, but it is important because I think with the squad we have, it's still very young, and we do need some Premier League experience in there. So to get someone like Decordova-Reid in, who's he's been about, he's 31 years old. He's a leader as well. He captures the Jamaican international side as well, I do believe. So to get someone like him in on a 3-year deal, which it could be a year too heavy, but I'm not going to complain too much about that at all. But yeah, let's get back into the chat. Vardy and yeah, be interesting. Be interesting what reaction O'Hare would get from commentary, because yeah, it's fair to say the Callum Doyle. I heard commentary were going to sign Callum Doyle, and that doesn't seem to happen. Obviously, I don't think Doyle's going to come back here, but yeah, how much control does a manager have over signings these days? I do wonder if these players are filling Enzo's gaps from last year. Yeah, I think in terms of control, obviously Glover, who's it's fair to say he's done a decent job at Leicester since he's joined us in terms of getting players in. I thought the recruitment last year was quite strong. Obviously, we picked up some very good players. We signed Fatu as well. Obviously, you don't know if that's an Enzo signing or not, but I'd say it's quite 50-50. I think the English signings, the signings of Michael Golding and Decordova-Reid are probably Cooper ones, and the okoli signing is probably more of a Glover one, in my opinion, but I'm not too sure. But I think Cooper's obviously going to work as close as he can with Glover, especially now because the system is going to be different. Obviously, I said it a few times on the channel, but I'll be very surprised if Leicester don't play a back five next season. So I think you can tell the signings kind of suiting that system, especially with another centre back in, and obviously Decordova-Reid can play it right back. But I don't think he'll play there for us. But it's interesting. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the work ethic, the experience, and that's what we're going to need. I know it's an easy saying. We signed Ryan Bertrand, and we all said, "Oh, experience," but I think this one's a bit different. So I think you can tell a lot about a signing based on the fans' reactions, and every single post I've seen from Fulham fans has been, they've been pretty good to let him go. So I think that tells you all you need to know. I think, he's a fan's favourite, works hard for the team. And like I said, he's been around for ages. He's always seems to be knocking around. He isn't, he's in the highest quality wingers in the Premier League. He's not going to score you 15 goals a season, is he? But I think he's that type of player who you can rely upon. Kind of similar to Mark Albrighton in that sense. Obviously, he's a different type of winger. But yeah, I think he is a nice little player for us this season. Not too sure about O'Hare. Yeah, personally, I don't really rate him that much, to be fair. Obviously, if he did come up, obviously welcome with open arms. But yeah, it just seems to pick up a few injuries. He's a bit inconsistent at times, but I wouldn't say no on a free, absolutely, because I think he's a decent talent, and Cooper's very good. Is he still young or not? Because I swear he seems to be at commentary for a long time as Callum O'Hare. I know he was at Villa before. Let me have a quick look at how Callum O'Hare is. We'll talk about the actual stuff later on the rumours. Yes, he's 26. I thought he was younger. To be honest, so he is reaching the peak of his career. So realistically, he's not going to want to spend his prime years at Coventry in the Championship, is he? So I think he'd definitely be open to moving. Obviously, he's a free agent, so I don't even know why I said that. But yeah, obviously he's going to be moving on, and for free, I think it's hard to say no. He's a unit. He is indeed. I think that one could get announced tonight, to be fair, or probably tomorrow morning. Leicester seem to announce the players mornings or early afternoons so far. So yeah, he would win in the Leicester YouTube Royal Rumble. I'll go with mine on that one. Haven't been here for a while. Good to see you, mate. Do you remember me? I do recognise the name. There is a few people with Leicester logos and stuff. So O'Hare or Pratt. O'Hare, because there's no point going back to Dennis Pratt. He's been here for far too long. Jesus. Sutar got announced. That was a long time ago, weren't it? I do remember that. Transfer deadline day on January. I had my driving test the next day, so I was bricking it all stream, to be fair. But we passed. But anyway, let's have a close look then on Bobby Decordova-Reid. Keep getting involved in the chat though. It's good to see lots of people in here tonight. Make sure to drop a like for consistent Leicester streams. Obviously, I'll try and go live as much as possible when I'm not at work, which is always at night, which is annoying. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, he's been at Fulham, Cardiff, Bristol City, Plymouth, Oldham, Cheltenham. So he's been around the block in England, has Decordova-Reid. But yeah, you know, he spent the prime years of his, you could say, the prime of his career potentially at someone like Fulham. You know, he's one of them players. He always seems to pop up with a goal. You know, he scored against, I think it was Arsenal this season to pretty much stop them from winning the league. If you look at it now, so yeah, big moments, big goals, and that's what we're going to need next season. So yeah, you know, look, it's not the most exciting signing. It's not, you know, it's not a world-renowned winger coming to Leicester, but I think in our situation, it's probably the best type of player we can get, and I think, you know, he could do wonders for the younger players like Fatu, Mkhitaryan as well, to mould them into, you know, better wingers. Because I think Decordova-Reid is a perfect winger, to be fair, because his work rate's excellent and ticks all the boxes in my opinion. What game? Don't know, to be fair. I'm looking forward to the game where we can potentially stay up, but who knows? I'd probably say one of the Forest ones at home, maybe, especially with Cooper. Maybe a Chelsea game if Leicester can beat Chelsea next season. I think that would be a pretty good game as well. But yeah, just to get a few more stats on Decordova-Reid in terms of his, you know, defensive abilities. I want to focus on that a little bit. So his non-penalty goals in XG, it's pretty good, but yeah, if you look at this, I think this is the key bit down here. These final 3 bits here. Let me just zoom in on that for you boys. As you can see, his blocks, clearance, and even his aerials one. I don't think it's too big, is he? But yeah, I think in terms of that, I think that will suit Cooper down to a T, because yeah, his progressive carries and take-ons obviously aren't too high. He's not really that type of winger, but I think for a Steve Cooper side, and especially in Leicester situation next season, I think them final 3 bits and even the tackles here is pretty promising when you compare that to other wingers. This is on FBref. I don't think that's how you say it. So yeah, I think that is pretty positive in terms of Decordova-Reid. I think I've got one more stat and then we'll move on to Michael Golding. Obviously, don't want to spend too long on him, but it's weird though, because this one came out of absolute nowhere. Let me have a quick look at where that was. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Man like Bobby Decordova-Reid. So yeah, if we look at his dribbling and whatnot, you know, it's pretty, I wouldn't say poor, but his offsides are high. Don't know if that's a good thing or not. But yeah, I think all in all, he's quite a well-rounded midfielder, winger, I should say. I guess he could play midfield as well, just as we've seen from earlier. Shots taken aren't too bad either. You know, his expected goals and whatnot are fairly decent as well if you base it on that. But yeah, I think, you know, he's been around the blocks in England. He's very experienced, 31 years old. He's not too old. He's still got a few years left in him at the top level. I could see him probably spending a few years at Leicester, then potentially returning to Bristol City or something like that, obviously where he started his career off. But yeah, in terms of Decordova-Reid, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10 signing. I think it's pretty good. It's probably what Leicester need right now. Don't really have too many complaints over it. Obviously, it's good to know what he's about. Obviously, some of the signings we've got in Golding, okoli, we're kind of unsure, but I think with Decordova-Reid, you kind of know what you're going to get, which in my opinion is a positive. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on him in the comments, in the chat, and then we'll move on to Golding and then some of these other rumours around O'Hare, which I think you guys are keen to get on because there's been a lot of comments about him tonight. Sammy Schmodix, yeah, we did discuss him on Ant's channel the other night. I don't really know if he'd come to us or not, but I think a striker's needed. Cooper will be a great surprise, Armo. Yeah, to be fair, look, I slated him when we first got him, but you know the transfers are giving me a bit more optimism, I'd say, for this season. So long may it continue, but it all depends on Leicester's budget really, because I think it's quite unknown. Obviously, the outsiders say, "Oh, Leicester won't be spending any money because we haven't in recent years," but the thing is, really, I think now we can spend money in terms of FFP. But there was a report a few hours ago saying that we'd broken the rules again or whatever it is, despite selling Dewsbury. So who knows? We'll have to see what happens. Obviously, the Premier League and FFP rubbish is still going on, so there's not much we can do about it. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing all right. experience. Yeah, 100%. And I think with someone like McAteer, you look at players like Wayne Marcel, Fatwu, who's still incredibly young if he does join eventually. I think he's the type of player who could definitely help. And it's the same as Connor Cody. You may not have the biggest impact on the squad, but in terms of the dressing room and helping players around him, it's key. And I know it's very cliche to say, but it is very true. So yeah. Maybe it's related to those a certain age. It's all looking good. It is. It is. It is looking very good. Do you think Vestergaard will start next season? I do. To be fair, he's good on the ball. He's big in the air, and that's what we're going to need. I can't see Leicester playing a very high line next season, so I don't think his pace will get exploited too much. He's got experience. So yeah, I think if Cooper does play that back three, the three centre backs, I'll be very surprised if Vestergaard doesn't start. But then again, you've got players like Cody who Cooper could prefer, because obviously Cody has played at a slightly more high level, I'd say. So obviously Vestergaard, he's done well at the Euros and stuff. We've got Wout Faz if we can keep hold of him. Formation, it would probably be a 5. You'd have the back three. You play wingers. There's probably a not too sure, to be fair. But as far as I'm aware, it's just a back five, and then ahead of that is pretty flexible and open. You'll have the front three potentially, or Cooper. To be fair, Cooper has played with a kind of a front two and a kind of striker coming off in that kind of false nine role. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But talking on the formations and stuff, I've got a video coming where I'm going to go like in depth on this tactics and how Leicester can really set up. But I'll probably do that in a few weeks when we've got a few more signings and we can kind of work it out a bit more. But yeah, I think it's set in stone at back five in my opinion. I'd be very surprised if not. Fatu, same. I don't know why it's taken so long, because we've seen all the photos. He was literally at the ground probably almost a week ago now. I don't get why it's taken us so long to do it, but yeah, hopefully it can get announced soon. But Fatu is back in England, so potentially gets announced tomorrow. Opinions about the new kit? Yeah, I'm not too keen on the sponsor, but as long as he gets his money, I'm not too fussed. It could have been worse, but it does look like it's sponsored by Pac-Man, doesn't it? So yeah, it's one of them, innit? But yeah, I think this is pretty standard Leicester kit. I think if it had King Power on it, it'd look pretty good. So nothing to be concerned about or anything with that. But it's just a standard Adidas kit in it, really. Wonder if Wout Faz will leave potentially. Yeah, obviously there's been talks of him in Barcelona. He had a pretty good Euros with Belgium, so yeah, it's one of them. If Leicester can get some decent money for him, I wouldn't be against it. But I think it'd be good to keep hold of Wout Faz, because I think he's going to be a pivotal part of our team next season. In terms of the pace, defensively, he's probably one of our faster centre backs. I know that's not hard when you got Vestergaard in there, but yeah, I think it's going to be key. What's happened, Fatu? God knows. Too expensive. It's like 70 quid, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And you pay 25 quid for a season ticket card, and you still have to pay 70 quid for some blue Adidas top on order. Fair play. I still need to get mine. I might wait if I get a gift card or something for my birthday, but yeah, I have to say my lagging out. It is an elite game, but to be fair, if Leicester could just get rid of whatever it's called, BO, whatever it's called, or something like that, I don't know what it's called. BC game, sorry, BO. If Leicester could have like the Pac-Man logo on the top, I think that looked pretty good. But yeah, bring back Walker's crisps. So anyway, moving on then to a young player, to say the least. Younger than me, Michael Golding, who has obviously joined us today from Chelsea. 5 million. There's no buyback clause either, which is fantastic in my opinion. This man looks to be a massive talent. I won't talk about him too much, because obviously I did a in-depth look at him the other day. So if you want to get some stats and whatnot, feel free to check that video out. But in terms of his position, it's very much in that number 8, 10 kind of advanced role in midfield. Obviously, he came from Chelsea. He's been a part of the England youth squads as well. So yeah, I think all in all, he's a very exciting talent. It's gonna be interesting though, because he has got kind of the official announcement from Leicester, you could say. Because sometimes with the younger players who join us, you don't really get a massive announcement video, a video in it, the interview and whatnot. So does that tell you that he's going to be a part of the first team plans? I don't know. Obviously, it's only a signing announcement, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what his role is for Leicester. Is he going to get sent out alone for a season to the Championship or something? potentially. Is he going to go into our youth squad potentially, or is he going to be knocking on the door for a first team spot? It's very hard to judge. Obviously, there's not too much data stats about him as a player, but he's meant to be this very good young player. So it's I think in my opinion it's a very exciting signing. So one for the future definitely, and it's good to see Leicester investing in the right areas. But I think it's important we do get players now who are definitely ready for the first team. And that's why I think another midfielder, Callum is definitely needed. But yeah, let's get back into the chat. Is the membership? That's ridiculous, isn't it? So you got all them prices and you got to pay more to get the membership. So it must be about £100 to watch a Leicester game now. If you buy the membership and then the ticket on top of it for like category A games, ridiculous. You seen the fake? Yeah, it's dodgy, isn't it? But yeah, who cares? Good chat that. And thinking about it, we literally don't have any chance anymore because everyone's left. Maresca's gone. That's half the chance ruined. Dewsbury's gone. That's that one done. Stuffed. But yeah, we'll think about that near the first game. It's not been too long away now. No buyback clause won't stop Chelsea from buying from us. Waiting for the announcement that signed. I'll kind of be ladies next, probably. The way he spoke in the interview sounded like he's been Yeah, true. That's a good point. Yeah, I think so. But obviously, he's probably not going to sit there and say, "Oh, I'm actually going to go on loan, guys." But yeah, it's true. But I think we'll get a better idea from pre-season. I think he'll definitely be involved in the pre-season games. Obviously, I think playing is it Augsburg from Germany. We've got a game there as well, which will be interesting. It's good to see Leicester going out a bit and not playing like Shrewsbury away, but usually we play like Scunthorpe and Cheltenham and stuff. But yeah. Renee, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing all right. Anyway, we talked about Michael Golding enough, but very exciting player. Let's move on to some other stuff, some more interesting stuff, which is still kind of in the work. So yeah, just before we do that, a quick bit on Caleb Okoli. Obviously, we are awaiting the announcement on that for Rich Romano. Has also confirmed that from Tom Colomos. So yeah, medical done. Interest from Fulham, Bournemouth, from Wolfsburg as well. So he has chosen Leicester potentially over them, which is a good thing to see. And I think interest from those clubs tell you that he is a decent player and in demand. So yeah, I'm expecting that one to get announced tomorrow, as Rene also says in the chat. So but yeah, we discussed him, another young centre back who could come into the squad. Quite a big centre back, 6'3". I do believe he is. So yeah, that centre back next season alongside Vestergaard, that fast potentially, no nonsense, which is going to be positive in my opinion, because it's probably what Leicester City need. But anyway, moving on then to the more juicy stuff, the stuff from the dodgy sources at times. But Rob Tanner's definitely not too dodgy, and obviously he has been discussing the interest in Callum O'Hare. He hasn't really said anything too groundbreaking. He's pretty much just said on the article that Leicester have got long-term interest in the attacker midfielder. And Leicester could be poised to make a move in the next couple of days. Obviously, he is a free agent as well, but it very much depends on if O'Hare wants to come to Leicester, if he's got suitors elsewhere, the contract length, the amount of money, all that type of thing. But in terms of the player, commentary to Leicester isn't too far, so logistically it's quite a good move for him in terms of that. It's Premier League football. He's got Steve Cooper, who's an English manager, works well with them type of players going forward. The attacking ones, that I would say young. He's not too young, but 26. He's still got a bit of progression in my opinion. So yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, still a long time to wait on that one, but I think if Leicester do, is he Welsh? I swear he played for England. Is he actually Welsh? Let's have a look. It says he's British on here, Amber. Well, British English, Jesus. Is he Welsh? Callum O'Hare. Don't know. Well, he's probably not good enough to play for the teams anyway. But oh, Steve Cooper. Duh. Same thing, bro. Same thing. Brozier. I was gonna say I thought O'Hare was English anyway. Anyway, you'd messed me up there. I think Brozier would be a really good signing, definitely. But I can't really see it happening. I did see something the other day there's something about Leicester wanting Broja from Chelsea, but it's something about Broja not really wanted to come, so I can't see that one happening. How long am I on to tonight? As long as you guys want, to be fair. Will Tom Cannon cut it? Yeah, I wouldn't say as of right now, no, but you never know really because um, yeah, I knew someone was going to say that. But yeah, I think with Cannon it's quite tough to really call it because he had limited minutes, and when Cannon did play in that kind of stretch after Christmas, New Year, he was quite good. So if you can get some consistent minutes, potentially, but is he good enough to start for Leicester week in week out in the Premier League right now? I can't really see it. So yeah, I'll be very surprised if Cannon is our lead striker next season. So yeah. If Vardy retire, we need a backup. Yeah, I think we need a backup now. Anyway, even with Vardy staying. In terms of Daka, I can't really see him staying at Leicester, but you never know. There's been no real talk or interest in him. So yeah, we'll have to see on that one. But anyway, some more transfer news. Now this one's from a very poor source. I don't take it too seriously, but we'll discuss it anyway. Matt O'Reilly from Celtic. This is a report from the Scottish Sun. So yeah, but I have seen a few bits around him. Obviously, he's open to a move. I do believe. This one would be quite a costly fee, but very good player. Is Matt O'Reilly one of the only good ones from up in Scotland? So be interesting if Leicester do go for this, but I could see it potentially costing about 25 million, which could be fairly steep for Leicester. There's been interest in him from Atletico Madrid as well. So I'd be very surprised if O'Reilly did come to Leicester this season, but there's definitely a good player in there. He to be fair, he is around the Danish squad as well. So obviously he will know the likes of Mads Hermansen, Victor Christiansen, and Yannick Vestergaard as well. So that could be a helping factor, but we'll have to see on that one. And obviously, as Grace says, he is managed by a certain Brendan Rodgers. So could we see another individual from Celtic make their way down to Leicester? We'll have to wait and see on that one. But in my opinion, he's far too good for the Scottish League. So he's definitely going to be moving on this year. But to who, we'll have to wait and see. O'Reilly would be a dream replacement for Dewsbury Hall, but that would again agreed. I think he suits. I think he'd suit that position to a T, especially under someone like Cooper. I think in terms of the system, the flexibility going forward, I think he could do some wonders. If I froze, am I back? We're back. Internet's dodgy tonight. Brendan Rodgers, indeed. Todd Campbell was looking like Cade. Yeah. The standard is poor, but O'Reilly, to be fair, he is one of the only good ones there. So what do you think about Moda at Leicester? Absolutely no chance, in my opinion. Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah, rubbish. No, thank you. In my opinion, just it's fair. If Leicester actually went through with that and Dewsbury went to Brighton and we got him, I'd still be fuming now. To be fair, because I think that was a ridiculous idea from Leicester. Thank God Chelsea actually came in for him because if we were sat here with Yaka Moda in midfield, I just wouldn't. I don't know. He's not really that good, is he? And based on his stats, he hasn't really impressed. He's got ACL injuries as well on his record, so I can see why Leicester went in for him. Rookie masterclass. But will Bobby start Fatu, I think 100%, or even Jeremy if you're doing all right. But yeah, I think in terms of Decordova-Reid, he's going to be a squad player rotation, but we'll definitely get some minutes next season, especially when the congestion comes in with fixtures, and if Steffi or Abdul get injured, he'll be there to come in. So but you never know, he could be playing somewhere else. Obviously, he's very flexible across that attacking line, so I have to wait and see how Steve Cooper does utilise the Jamaican. But anyway, moving things on then to another one. Now this is from Ben Jacobs on Callum O'Hare, which is interesting because obviously Ben Jacobs is quite reliable as a journalist, and this is he's pretty much said that Leicester wants him and they have confidence they can get it done. Leicester wants to move fast, so expect a busy transfer window. Now this is from, I think it's like a video stream from Talk Leicester City podcast. I'm not too sure on if it's 100% true, but I'll take their word from it. So yeah, that is very interesting. So but yeah, I think in terms of O'Hare, we could get an update from the likes of Fabrizio and whatnot. But based on Leicester's business so far this window, we could get a thing tomorrow saying, "Oh, O'Hare to Leicester, here we go." Because the transfers this season have been so random, coming out of nowhere. So I would not be surprised if Leicester got some more breaking news for a completely random player next season, or for this season. So we'll have to see. But I think O'Hare is definitely a potential free agent. I would not say no, in my opinion. So yeah. Was just about to say, do we really have a chance of O'Hare? It's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them. I think it mostly depends on the other clubs interested, really. But like I said, logistically for him, I think Leicester could be the perfect move, really, because it's Premier League football, it's down the road, and it's easy to say, but I think the location for someone is quite important. Obviously, Leicester and Coventry are the two nicest places in England, to say the least. But I think in terms of that, it's quite important for him and his family, because obviously he's been around Coventry for the whole of his career. I do believe. I think he came through their academy, and obviously, we've seen James Maddison, who used to be a former Cov player, come to Leicester. Obviously, there's Norwich and stuff in between that, but yeah. Could it happen again? Cooper, he is cooking, isn't he? He's getting stuff done early and on the quiet as well, which quite happy to see. Also, we have discussed the new shirt. It is just gone now. I have a quick look on Twitter just to see if there is any announcements maybe for Fatawu. Is there? No. Absolutely nothing. Ipswich are obviously signing Philogene and Greaves for 35 mil, which is a cracking bit of business in my opinion. So Ipswich have got some money to spend. But I think in terms of transfers, the newly promoted sides have done some good business. Southampton have got Ronnie Edwards from Peterborough for 3 million, which is a cracking piece of business. Very good young centre back. So yeah, I think the promoted sides are making a good case to try and stay up. But obviously, there's still a long way to go in the window. Some teams have got some business done incredibly early on. Obviously, Villa are making good signings as well in lots of Matson and stuff. So yeah, I think the Premier League next season is going to be extremely competitive. But obviously, the Euros is pretty much over, so we could see some more talks opening up. But in terms of the month of July, it's going to be your busiest of the whole window, and this is where Leicester are going to get their business done. And especially now that training started back, Steve Cooper's probably going to realise, a few players, I don't really want you, and they could get sold. Let Leicester get some money, reinvest that into some more players. So, in my opinion, I could probably see start signing another 4 to 5 players. Now that includes Fatawu, okoli as well, and maybe lots of Callum O'Hare, something along them lines. Really think Cooper will be good for us. I won't lie, if Graham Potter was in charge, I'd be much happier, but I'm not too against it now. Not as much as when the news first came out, when I was pretty fuming. Danny Ward, exactly. Yeah, there is another one. In terms of goalkeepers, obviously Hermanson is going to be first choice, and Solarchek, in my opinion, I'd be very surprised if there's anything different in terms of that. So I think we're right there. Defensively, we're looking strong. I just think now Leicester need to look into them attacking areas, the midfielders, the strikers as well. So yeah, if you boys have got any final thoughts, any final questions, feel free to let me know. I think we've pretty much covered pretty much everything in terms of the Leicester City news today. I'll try and go live tomorrow as well if there is any other stuff. Obviously, we are expecting the announcement of Caleb okoli, which is going to be another good one to get over the line from Atalanta. Daka needs to go. Yeah, agreed. But in terms of Daka, though, is anyone going to want to get Daka? Because based on his performances last season, obviously at times last season he wasn't even that bad. But yeah, I think with Daka it's going to be an interesting one. I can't see him getting a move in England, so it's probably going to be a move to maybe like the Spanish league or something like that. Because in fairness, he probably do alright in some leagues, but just doesn't seem to have it for the Premier League and the English game as well. Can't wait for pre-season and see how we're playing. 100%. It's been far too long, especially with Leicester obviously winning the championship. I think our last game was 4th of May, wasn't it? So it's been a very long break, and the season starts a bit later as well. So it's like probably the longest summer break Leicester have ever had. But it'd be good to get back starting with obviously Tottenham at home. Points deduction going to send us down though. We didn't talk about that on AJR. Screw that. No transfer news. As many points to us. Yeah, it's obviously going to be a challenge to say the least next season. But I think as of right now, Leicester are putting themselves in the best position to stay up, which is a massive positive with the signing. So I think so far the business we've done in the last couple of days alone, very very positive in my opinion. So it's a good one. Yeah, 100%. Still waiting for a Diddy to sign as well. Yeah, I think that one's kind of up in the air a bit more as well now, because I think some people have been saying the likes of Rob Tanner have said, oh, he'll sign, but now there's been a few reports saying it's a bit more undecided. So I think we'll have to see with Wilfred and Diddy. But I think the longer it leaves it, it's going to get worse for him, because surely as a player, you want to know your club for the new season as soon as possible. The worst case scenario will be deciding to go somewhere last minute and you're kind of behind and you've got to work your way, try and get into the squad. But I think if Diddy did stay at Leicester, he'd 100% be in the starting lineup for next season, and probably back in that, the standard Wilfred and Diddy defensive, sitting in front of the defence role. Centre back potentially, I'm not too sure. But yeah, obviously Wolf played very high next season, so he could go anywhere. Who knows? Cheers for coming in, Reddit. Much appreciated. Was it 9 weeks ago? Jesus. Does seem like a long time ago, that Blackburn game done at home, where obviously they stayed up. Sammy Smodics as well with the goal. So we'll have to see on that one. Let's have a quick look on Fossil just to see if there is any other stuff to cover. Obviously there was that report around the points deduction. That's only for Footy Insider, so I'm not going to go on that. There was obviously this exclusive from Fossil in terms of Matt O'Reilly, which I'll get up quickly just to wrap things up. Now, obviously, I don't know how reliable this is at all, but it's interesting. I obviously it's a fairly big account, so you may get some stuff. I'm not too sure, but Leicester have officially inquired with Celtic about Matt O'Reilly. The player is keen on the challenge, so yeah, I mean, take that with a pinch of salt, but it's better than saying no. So we'll have to wait and see on Matt O'Reilly. Apparently, according to Foster as well, O'Hare was at the training ground the other day as well. But I'm not going to spend too long on it because I don't want to be putting false stuff out there. But we'll have to see. Interesting stuff. O'Hare, yeah, Leicester interested. I think we'll get a bit more stuff in terms of more reliable news over the next couple of days, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Free agent, attacking player, can't really say no. Opinions on Southgate in England, but yeah, how long have you got, Jared? Jesus Christ. I've been Southgate out since I say 2019. I think he did well in this first World Cup, but yeah, I can't quite believe how England. Jesus, I'm falling over here. Apologies. The ring light's gone walkabouts, but yeah, I can't quite believe how England actually got into the semi-finals. So yesterday, I won't lie, I can't really remember too much from the game. A few points were joint to say the least, but yeah, I just don't really get Southgate ball. But in terms of international football, it's kind of working, but it's just it is really boring. And I'd be very surprised if Southgate stayed as England manager, even if England somehow did win the Euros. But to be fair, I can't really see that happening. And I won't lie, England's been kind of lucky so far. But yeah, it's one of them, innit? It's just exactly. It's boring to watch, but he's got the players, the individual moments of brilliance to kind of get England over the line. But I just think if England had a better manager tactically and with a style of play, that team would blow teams away, 100%. The penalties were faultless, 100%. It's good to see that, but I think in terms of when England do come against a powerhouse, obviously Netherlands powerhouse potentially, obviously much better than the teams we came up against so far. On paper, I think that they could cause us some good problems. Obviously they got Van Dijk in defence for starters. Rodgers might do us a favour and let him come potentially. I don't think Rodgers going to do some big favours for us though. Was a Victoria Park yesterday. What should I say? We watched the game today. Looked good, that to be fair. I was just at the local pub, which is all right. A few pints of Cruz Campo. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. But yeah, anyway, boys and girls, I don't really want to talk about England. I'm not going to lie. I just find it quite boring. And I don't know. I think with England, it's just one of them, innit? I think the moment of the game is enjoyable, but when you like actually look at the game, it's so boring. But it is obviously good with the whole country connected with one team. But I'd watch Leicester over it any day of the week, and I'd rather Leicester beat Tottenham. To be perfectly honest, on the opening day of the season. But yeah, exactly that. It's the best generation we've had, and people compare him to, oh look, England have got into the knockouts, like 2014 World Cup or whenever it was. We got knocked out in the group, but look at the squad we have now. Absolutely miles clear of that squad. We had, Phil Jones playing at centre back, and the team we've got now is extremely talented. We've got some of the best players in the world, and if England, don't make a good go of it against Netherlands, I think I wouldn't say that. If England don't beat Netherlands, I think we should. I'd say it'd be another failed tournament because in terms of performances, they've been pretty poor and they've not been exciting. We've been scraping games, and if you look at previous tournaments, we've been England were a bit more fun to watch. Obviously, we beat Germany in the last Euros, the World Cup in Russia. We did quite well there. Obviously, the squad there was nowhere near as good as it is now, and I think Southgate did a fantastic job that tournament. I'll give us some credit for that, but I think since then it's just been a bit shaky. And obviously, we had a few defeats in the Nations League to Hungary and whatnot, and yeah, overall it's just not really too convincing, really. For England, we're obviously a few minutes away from going out in the round of 16. Just about got the job done last night. I can't really recall England having too many shots on targets or anything like that. I just feel when England come up against a high quality team, the Spains, the Frances, I think we're going to get exploited. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a shame for Maddison. Like Grealish, obviously, them two didn't have the best events of the seasons at all, but I think they'd have much more of an impact than the players in a squad in the squad right now. Southgate's been lucky, yeah, 100%, yeah. Exactly that, and yeah, everyone goes on about, oh, we've got to the semis and whatnot. The Roots have been extremely fortunate, and the best team we played, I think, in terms of the Roots is Germany, and in 2021, were Germany even that good? Don't think so. Some of the games were like watching Leicester Plymouth. Yeah, let's not talk about that game. Jesus Christ. Everyone can see Kane is not match fit. Yeah, Kane's been very poor, hasn't he? I'm a tad late tuning in from Greece. Big up. Really happy about the new signing of Decordova-Reid. Yeah, 100%, bro. It's a good bit of business in my opinion. It's just what Leicester City need. Mix of the youth talent of Golding, Decordova-Reid coming in, that experience as well, and you've got that experience. He's only 31 as well, so he's not obviously extinct. I'd say that. So yeah, I think he's got a few more years left in him in terms of playing at the high level in the Premier League as well. But yeah, he seems to do all right for them. Being around the block a little bit as well. So decent bit of business in my opinion. But yeah, just to wrap things up, I'll head off in a minute because my voice is starting to hurt now. 43 minutes of speaking is quite difficult, to be perfectly honest. But I think in terms of new signings, we need to get another striker, another winger, potentially two midfielders, depending if we play a 3 or a 2 in midfield. But I think playing a 2 in modern day football is quite light. But if the wing backs obviously push into a 4, it'll make it a bit more compact. But we'll have to see on the formation. But it could be a 3-4-3 or something like that, or 3-5-2, along them lines. So we'll have to wait and see. Alpha mate, hope you're doing all right. Good to see you in it. Soon with the Spurs match, 100%. We have to wait until the Monday night football as well on that one, which is going to be horrible. But yeah, Samari isn't the one for me. Yeah, I think Samari is a weird one, really, because I've always said this. He's got all the attributes, in my opinion, to be a very good player. He's physical, he's strong, he's got a bit of pace about him. The one thing he lacks, though, is just, he just lacks being quick on the ball, in my opinion. He just seems to get caught out with the pace. But yeah, if Cooper rates him, I wouldn't be completely against Samari playing, and especially if someone like Ndidi doesn't sign that contract extension, you've kind of got a defensive midfielder playing there in Boubacar and Samari. So I'd have to wait and see, because it's I think it'd be a massive shame, because You know, he came into the squad that season. He won the League One with Lille, which is obviously a massive achievement over Paris Saint-Germain, and they just never really seemed to get going. But yeah, it's a weird one with him. How do you rate your signings? Our signings, sorry. Out of 1 to 10. As of right now, I'd give it a solid 7 or 8. I think it's important to get some players out, but just talking on the signings alone, yeah, I think it's been a good mix. We've covered some areas. We've got players in, which is the main thing in my opinion. Because if you told me 2 weeks ago Leicester would, have signed 3 players, assuming we get a Cody done tomorrow, I'd be shocked, to be fair. So yeah, I think all in all we've been very good in this last week, and quite quiet as well, which makes it more interesting as well. Because usually you seem to know about a signing weeks in advance, but with Leicester, it's days and hours at the minute. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly that. It's not prem tempo, but I think some work can that be worked upon. I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Just the speed of the game. It's strange. I don't know. It's weird though, because he's got all the ability, like just to hold the play up. He can just turn his. He's a big guy, isn't he? So yeah, I just don't get how he can't really get to grips with it. And I think he did alright at Sevilla. So it's a weird one with Boubacar tomorrow. I think Gray sums it up perfectly there. It's a unit but doesn't use it right. And it's so frustrating in my opinion, because I just think if Samori was moulded into that right player, I honestly think he could go right to the top. Well, not right to the top, but I think he'd be a very competent Premier League midfielder. And I still think there's that slight bit with Samori, but yeah, I think at his time at Leicester, there was, he wasn't really good. He had a few seasons, he had a few good games. I remember his first game against Napoli with his black boots. He came on, did very good, but since then he just hasn't really impressed too much. But yeah, under a new manager, you never know, because obviously he was under Rogers. Obviously with Enzo, he went. Obviously, I don't think he wanted to play in the Championship. Anyway. Any transfers concerning Daka? Absolutely nothing, Teddy, as far as I know. Hopefully the loan would have done some good, come back more confident, agreed. Excited for the Lens game, should be a good one. I'm still contemplating if I should go or not, but it is quite spenny to get over there, because there's like no flights whatsoever. The Eurostar is all right, but you've got to get the train to London in the first place. I know Leicester are doing about 120 quid bus, but I ain't sitting on a bus all the way to learn. So I did enough of bus travel in Germany last week. But anyway, boys and girls, thank you very much, everyone, for coming in tonight. Massively appreciated. Big numbers. We've gone on it for a while. I'll probably see you boys tomorrow with another live stream, because as of right now, there'll probably be a completely new player who gets a here we go to Leicester tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But anyway, make sure to go and drop a like. As we always say, massively helps the channel out and spreads the content out to more and more Leicester fans. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? Go and subscribe. As I say, it massively helps me out as well. And if you've got any final thoughts, let me know in the chat. If you're watching this back on replay, let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed in the comments. And I'll see you boys tomorrow for another update on the Leicester City transfer news. Stay safe. Up the City. See you boys then.